Okay, so insects by Ralphie. Ants.
In the tropics, insects rule, and insect numero uno is the ant. Rainforest ants do all sorts of incredible things, like cleaning up the leaf litter and planting seeds. Army ants run raiding parties for food and make houses out of their own bodies. Leafcutter ants farm fungi on leaves they collect from the forest. Some ants even protect the plants and animals that give them food and nectar. Yup, ants are amazing and abundant.
Beetles.
You've heard of the age of dinosaurs. Well, some scientists say we're living in the age of the insects. And no insects are more bountiful than the beetle. One biologist estimated that 18,000 species occurred in just a couple of acres of rainforest in Panama. Are beetles diverse? Definitely. They can be small, sparkling gems like tortoise beetles, or tough tanks like rhinoceros beetles. Some beetles fly by day, others fly by night. Some night beetles, like the fireflies, make their own light. Others, like the click beetle, absorb light all day and then glow in the dark all night.
Cool, now roaches.
Roaches don't just live in your kitchen and in roach motels. In the rainforest, roaches live just about everywhere. Many species actually live in families, where the parents provide food and protection for their young. Not all of them look like the roaches you step on. Some roaches are quite handsome and can be cream-colored, deep dark brown, or even blue. Blue? I could decorate my locker with them. Wait, what am I thinking?
That's funny. Okay. Okay, birds by Arnold. Eagles.
The king of the Costa Rican rainforest sky is the spectacular Harpy Eagle, a giant bird that stands up to 3.5 feet tall. The harpy builds its nest with sticks high in the treetops of the tallest trees. These huge hunters zip through the branches picking off sloths and unsuspecting monkeys. Harpy eagles need lots of land to live and hunt on. As more of the rainforest is being used by people, harpy eagles are becoming rare. In some places, they're even extinct.
Okay, migrating birds.
Have wings, will travel is the motto of many rainforest birds. They have the best of both worlds, spending the winter in the warm tropical rainforest and the summer further north in cooler places like the United States and Canada. The robin, which brings this first sign of spring to New York, may have come all the way from Central America. A 1,000-mile trip!
Okay, and then I think toucans.
If you spend any time in the rainforest, you'll probably hear the barking croak of the toucan. Look up and you'll see the toucan sitting in a fruit tree, snipping off hard-to-reach fruit with its long, bright bill. Those bills look heavy, but they're actually very light. Toucans' bills are hollow and crisscrossed by thin supporting rods. Toucans also eat lizards, snakes, eggs, and the chicks of other species. Toucans are a tough bunch and will quickly bully other birds away from food and even out of their homes.
Okay, cool. Almost done. Well, we still got 5 more to go. Reptiles and Amphibians by Wanda. Lizards.
Lizards of all colors and sizes scuttle and scurry around the rainforest. There are little brown anolis lizards and flashy blue-tailed amoeba lizards. Most lizards are insect eaters, but not iguanas. These big, green, dinosaur-looking lizards sit in the treetops and eat leaves all day. They can easily grow up to 6 feet long. Iguanas are hunted by jaguars, who wait for the giant lizards to come out of the treetops to lay their eggs in underground burrows.
Frogs and toads.
Frogs and toads come in so many shapes, sizes, and colors that they could be called the rainbows of the rainforest. But frogs and toads everywhere seem to be mysteriously disappearing. One example is the golden toad of the Monteverde cloud forest in Costa Rica. This spectacular orange-gold toad, which used to be found everywhere in its wildlife preserve, has not been seen for years. The golden toad has become a symbol of the mysteriously disappearing amphibians.
Okay, now we're on to snakes.
The rainforest is full of slithering snakes, but many are hard to see because they blend in so well with their environment. The fer-de-lance viper and the boa constrictor blend into the surrounding leaf litter, which makes it easy for them to sneak up on their prey. The giant boa constrictor will wrap its coils around a victim and squeeze it to death.
Pleasant, right? All right. Okay, now we're on to Mammals by Dorothean.
Some of the world's most beautiful wild cats, like ocelots, pumas, jaguars, and jaguarundi, live in tropical rainforests. Some of them, like pumas, live as far north as the western USA. When you see a big cat, never ever run away from it. It might chase you just for the fun of it, and 300 pounds of jaguar muscle will win every time. According to my research, the best strategy is to face the wild cat and shout or clap, walking slowly towards it.
That sounds terrifying. I don't know if I'd be able to approach a giant-ass cat clapping or shouting while walking towards it. If there's some out there who have achieved this, then please let me know. Monkeys.
Rainforests make life pretty easy for monkeys. The climate is warm, there's food all year round, and best of all, the monkeys can spend all their time in the trees, far away from the predators that live on the ground. Like humans, monkeys tend to be very social and travel in large family groups. Babies travel on the adults' backs as they swing and jump through the trees looking for food. The monkeys that live in this part of the world are well adapted for tree travel. Some of them have long, curling tails that they use like a fifth hand. I guess you could say that their tails are very handy.
Okay.
When it gets dark in the rainforest and you hear wings flapping and see dark silhouettes against the night sky, you know that the bats are out and about. In the tropics, bats are as common as field mice are in North America. Most bats eat fruit and insects, but vampire bats eat other mammals and small rodents. According to my research, there is even a fishing bulldog bat, which uses its big feet to catch fish near the surface of the water.
That's cute. Okay, sorry, I just received a really sweet message. Okay. Parasites by Keisha. This should be fun.
Look around and you'll notice that animals are always scratching and cleaning themselves. That's because just about every animal has parasites that try to drink its blood or lay their eggs on the animal. When monkeys sit around preening each other, it's not just a social activity. It's a matter of good health. Ticks, fleas, and flies are just some of the parasites that attack larger animals every day. No wonder the scratching and cleaning goes on forever.
Plant parasites.
Even plants can be parasites. Mistletoe is a plant parasite that lives on top of other plants and takes nutrients out of them, often killing them in the process.
Okay, and insect parasites.
Warm-blooded creatures like jaguars and monkeys aren't the only targets for parasites. Insects make tempting targets for insect parasites, like wasps. Tiny wasps lay their eggs inside caterpillars and other insects. The young wasps hatch and eat their victims alive from the inside out, and then they emerge from the sides of their victims. Bad, oh bad, oh bad! For the caterpillar, that is.
Okay. So Rainforest Fundamentals by Miss Frizzle. Miss Frizzle did a project. Okay, can we talk?
Weather is very important to a rainforest. A rainforest needs lots of rain. More than 6 feet of rain a year, to be exact. But it also needs lots of sunlight to keep the temperature just about 82 degrees all year round. The wind plays a part, too. Down in the understory, you might not feel the wind. But up in the canopy, the winds can blow hard enough to knock down the older trees. Oh, this isn't bad, because it helps create the tree gaps that the forest uses to renew itself. Just like an ocean, a rainforest has many different layers of life. There are animals that only live near the ground, like tapirs, and animals who only live in the trees, like sloths. Every animal in the rainforest lives in the area that's best for it. A sloth's long arms and legs are great for hanging around in trees, but they're not much use on the ground. A tapir's hooves make it impossible for him to climb a tree. But down on the ground's a great place for him to scavenge for food. Animals and plants cooperate, but not the same way that we do. For example, a bee pollinates a flower and gets nectar in return. But the plant and the bee never made a deal about this. A bee going after nectar rubs against a stalk of pollen, not because the bee wants to take care of the plant, but because the plant put the stalk between the nectar and the bee. By using each other like this, animals and plants around the world have formed a balance that has survived for billions of years.
Okay, so we're done with Rainforest Fundamentals. Exit. And now we're moving on to, what is this, pills? Products of the Rainforest by Phoebe. Okay, medicine.
Not only are rainforests beautiful, they are also beneficial to humanity. 1/4 of the world's drugs come from plants, and most plant species live in the rainforest. Scientists think that they will find many more cures for diseases by exploring the plant and animal life of the rainforest. Right now, the saliva of vampire bats is being used to develop a drug to prevent heart attacks.
What the hell? Seriously? Saliva of vampire bats? Hold on, I need to research this. Let's listen to food in the meanwhile.
Did you know that there are 30,000 plants in the world with edible parts? But most of the food that people eat comes from just 20 of those plants. Some famous rainforest foods include pineapple, chocolate, Brazil nuts, heart of palm, bananas, mangoes, and papayas. But there are many others that most people have never tried, like tamarinds, cherimoyas, carambolas, coquitos, lulos, and mamones.
So far I haven't found anything, so let's listen to material.
You might even be chewing a piece of the rainforest right now. The chewy part of gum comes from the Manocara, a species of the chiclay tree. Chiclay trees are also an important source of timber and latex. At my old school, we learned that many useful building materials and textiles come from the rainforest plants.
I'm not really finding anything new or interesting as far as news goes, but I'm not really, looking too intently, so... Alright, well, we just listened to everything. Let's see what happens.
Sometimes everything comes full circle. Take this fruit. A monkey did. He ate it and pooped the seeds out. Guess what grew from that? More fruit trees. And how's that for a fruitful cycle? How does a hummingbird feed a beetle? Watch. While hunting for nectar deep inside, this hungry hummingbird pollinates a flower. That flower grows into a plantain, whose leaves make a meal that's just right for this beetle. That's one beautiful food web.
The puns, they make me so happy.
A plant can be a nursery for one species and a snack bar for the other. Look at a bromeliad. Rainwater collected in it and made a tiny pond. A mosquito laid her eggs on the water, and now the larvae are wriggling around, just in time for a warbler to eat them.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all part of life in the rainforest. But without the tree, the bromeliad, the rain, and the mosquitoes, the warbler would not be eating this midday meal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Come on, everyone, do the food chain. A wealthier palm drops its seeds. Those seeds are eaten by a spiny rat. A bushmaster snake eats a rat, and that is the end of that. Of course not. The food chain goes on and on and on, and on and on and on and on. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Teachers like Miss Frizzle are amazing. Okay, great. So there's nothing else we can do except to go to the next level. So wait, really quick, let me check to see where we need to go.
If you want to help my class finish their classroom rainforest, you need to find the items missing from this tropical toolbox.
Treefall Gap, that's where we would need to go. So let's actually travel all the way through everything before we go to Treefall Gap. So first stop, Understory.